Hi everyone. So this is pretty quick for me. I'm recapping the day after because I was wicked excited about this episode. So this is season 5, episode 2, the second part of the premiere of the Beatles. Glee Sings The Beatles, and it's called Tina and the Sky with Diamonds. So I was wicked excited about this episode. It was great, in my opinion. I did think they moved some things pretty fast. They squeezed a lot into this episode. So, here we go. This episode was written and directed by Ian Brennan, who is one of the original members and the part of the team that created Glee. So right off the bat, we've gotten better writing and direction. Ian is pretty funny with his wit. He's the one who usually writes Sue's rants, pretty much, and I'm assuming he probably writes Coach Roz's rants too, because hers are insanely funny. So let's split the time between McKinley and New York City. Let's start with the kids at McKinley. So we're coming up on prom, or basically Sue said they're going to combine junior-senior prom this year, so which includes the New Direction kids and then obviously the seniors. They called it like a Brundle prom. It's pretty funny. So we come to find out the nominations for prom king and queen. So no surprise, there are people from New Directions who are nominated. Tina Cohen-Chang, Kitty Wilde, Neck Brace Cheerio, which is funny, and then some other Cheerio, I think. And then for the guys, we have Blaine, Stoner Brett, some Muslim-sounding kid, and I think that's it. Sam wasn't even nominated, which is kind of sad. So Tina kind of gets all excited. She starts to sing, you want to start a revolution. She only gets through like the first line, and then everybody leaves because the bell rings. So she kind of gets more diva-ish. I guess that this is the direction they're taking her character, so it's quite a leap. If you remember way back when they started, she was more of the goth stutterer, and now she's turned into this demanding a diva. But then the way that they're making her be a diva is that they're making it be like annoying, and that she has this power trip issue, which is different. Well, maybe not that different when Rachel and Mercedes were acting like divas. Okay, never mind. But I feel like they're making it a negative. Like, you know what? Tina hasn't had the spotlight at all in like 5 years, so it is her time to shine. So I'm glad that was one of the central themes of this episode, that it was finally time for Tina to shine. So we get a return of Dottie, who was her assistant from last year, I'd like to say. Yeah, especially when they had the rapture with Kitty. That's the last time we saw her. So, basically, Kitty throws all of her support to Tina because she said she's a sophomore, junior, whatever grade she is, and so she can have plenty of times to be prom queen. And since Tina is a senior, she wants to root for her, or will vote for her and throw her support behind her. So then we have the Santana wannabe, Cheerio, I guess. I don't think she's head Cheerio yet. She will become head Cheerio. But, she's like this snarky, rude version, like lesser version of Santana and Quinn. She's just there. She says obnoxious things, and Kitty has obviously turned over a new leaf since being with Artie and being in Glee. So she's like, well, yeah, I'm giving my support to Tina. And this girl is basically like, yeah, well, you're not, or whatever. So the next day, Kitty comes to school, and all these posters are up, which are basically her face posted on Olivia Munn's body, which Artie knows the exact cover of Maxim that is taken from, which is funny. So what happens is, Kitty tries to prove that she's telling the truth, and everybody still thinks she's lying. So she starts to take some of the posters down. And so, cut to them entering prom. So, who was it? Tina decides to go with a bunch of single girls and not take Sam's offer for to be her prom date. And then the rest of the kids, it's kind of like you assume that Artie and Kitty went together, Jake and Marley went together, Ryder didn't have a partner, and then Unique didn't have a date. They just all kind of came together, and Blaine didn't because obviously his fiance, Kurt, is in New York City. So we get to the nominations and the reading of who's actually prom king and queen. So Tina wins, which is awesome. So if you noticed, obviously, that the past, every year they've had prom that a person from New Directions has won. We had, who did we have? Rachel won, and now Tina won. Quinn got nominated twice but never won. Or she technically did win, but then her and Santana voted for Rachel to get it, which was sweet. So she wins, and surprise, surprise, Stoner Brett wins. So we find out that Dottie has rigged a bunch of slushies that she bought in Dayton, I guess, to spill on top of Tina. And this was like part of the Mean Girl Cheerios plan to she bribes her with being like a Cheerio. She does this to Dottie. So Dottie pulls the cord, and the red slushy nonsense gets spilled all over Tina, and the bucket actually hits Stoner Brett. What is wrong with my computer? Hits Stoner Brett on the head, so he falls down too. So Tina just, is mortified and so embarrassed, and she just kind of runs away. She runs into the choir room, and she's like, I don't know how Jenna Ushkowitz is able to act through all this, because she acted, I know they try to do all of these in one take, and they probably had to because her dress was ruined, so she did that in one take, getting slushied like that, and then, walking to, or running to the choir room, and then to the scene of when the girls are cleaning her up. That's pretty much, it looks like to me, one all take, which is pretty amazing. I'm really happy that Tina got this episode, and that Jenna finally got to show that she can act and she can sing. It's been so long since we've actually seen that. Probably since the episode where Rachel was talking to her about, she could take her place in Glee next year since she's going to be left behind. And that was the episode where Tina had the whole brain switching of all the kids. Anyway. So, they all kind of rally around her, and they sing Hey Jude together. And it's amazing. Blaine does sing lead. Of course, Blaine has to sing lead on one of these songs. Of course, one per episode. But most of the kids join in on this one. So, what other song did they sing? So then during the prom, Jake, Marley, Unique, and Ryder sing Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band or something. Anyway, the outfits are amazing. This is when they all enter prom, and they did a great job. And then so Tina comes back and reclaims her crown and said, prom is awesome, and I accept your crown. So that's great that we ended it on that high note. The other storyline that we had going on in McKinley is that Sam was all downtrodden because he wasn't even picked to be prom king, a nomination for prom king, and then he says that Tina is unattractive and that he asked her to go to prom, which I think is kind of mean, but whatever, it is what it is, I guess. So he's all sad. So then it turns out that Sue's making it mandatory that all the kids get vaccines, and that Sam needs to get some polio vaccine. So he's afraid of needles, so he goes and has this nurse, quote unquote, have to give his vaccination. It turns out this girl is a nursing student, which, first of all, we would never let student nurses give shots without a real nurse there, but this is Glee, and this is what happens. So it turns out she's a sophomore in nursing school. So Sam and all the other boys come up with all these ridiculous excuses to have to go see her in the nurse's office. Sam tries to go several times, actually. He even bit himself, apparently. So then she gets fired for incompetence, and then Sam's like, no, give me the shot that'll prove to Sue that you deserve to stay in your job. So he wins back her job, and she's a chaperone for the prom, and Sam's all excited. And then they have a dance. They share a dance at the prom. So that's pretty much what happens in McKinley. There's a lot that happens in New York, too. So we have Rachel and Santana working at the diner, which apparently is one of the new locales. So we have Bushwick, Miata, and the diner. So in the diner, Rachel's all sad. Dude, I didn't get Funny Girl. I would have heard by now, and screw them. I'm going to get whatever part I can get. She's just really sad. So she's in Miata, and they're tuning the pianos, or Carmen Thibodeau wanted all the pianos tuned. So Kurt comes, and they sing Get Back. So basically, it's come on, Rachel, get your mojo back. Get your, that fire within you back. And it works, of course, and it's a great number for them to sing. So then the next number that comes along, oh, by the way, Sam sings something which he did a really great job on. The next one is the one I've been waiting for. It's the Dantana duet. It's Here Comes the Sun. So there's a lot of, I think this is the other central point of this storyline of this episode. They have Tina's and we have Santana's. So we come to find out that Santana's actually done something. She shot a commercial for Yeastastat, which was, oh my god, hysterical. Ian Brennan, where he comes up with this shit, I don't know. But it was hysterical. You could just keep watching that in a loop and die, because her faces are so hysterical through it, and her acting is like she's overacting the part. And like her face, it's just priceless, really. So you see Rachel's face, and she's kind of like, oh, that's great, Santana. So you can't, or I couldn't quite tell if she was jealous. I didn't think she was jealous. I think she was just saying, like, oh, God, this is horrible. But she didn't want to tell that to Santana on her face. So we get a glimpse of Danny, like, over there, like, I don't know what she's doing, filling sugar containers or taking an order. And Santana's getting all cute and nervous, right? And so the next scene we see is Santana's filling a ketchup bottle. And she tells Danny, like, oh, so did your parents know that you'd be gay because they gave you, like, a boy's name? And so Danny says, no, it's actually short for Danielle, and no, my parents didn't know I was gay. I was making out with a girl in the basement, and they found me, so I took my guitar and left. And then she asked her about her family, and Santana goes, yeah, well, my parents are okay with it, but my abuela's not. And then she actually talks about Brittany, and she says, yeah, well, my girlfriend is bi. My girlfriend is bi. I think she says that. Yeah, she does say that, talking about Brittany, and that she loves her, but it's over now. And then Danny says, well, you know, maybe that's for the best, you know. And then, oh, and then she goes, like, you need to have, like, a 100% sapphic goddess, and, like, winks at, or raises her eyebrow teasingly at Santana. And Santana does the whole, I got a gay go thing. She stutters again, and she goes, like, she needs to go fill the salt shakers up. So Rachel catches her, and Santana's like on full-on panic mode. She talks about having that panic, stinky sweat under her boobs. She just doesn't know what to do, and Rachel calls her out of being nervous and says that it's really cute, and says that Danny's a really smart girl, and if she's smart, she wouldn't let somebody as wonderful as Santana get away. So I'm loving this Hasbury friendship that's going on right now. It is too cute, considering how far they've come since season 1 to now. It's like amazing that it shows really growth in both of them. So let's see. The next time we see them, they're doing a graveyard shift, and Rachel decides to leave 10 minutes early to leave Santana and Danny alone. So this is when we get to hear them sing Here Comes the Sun, which I thought was a wonderful rendition. Demi Lovato's voice is amazing. She's so talented. She's playing the guitar. It's wonderful. And so we see them leave the cafe or the diner, and the sun's coming up, and it ends up that Santana walks Danny to the door. And so Santana goes, I guess this is goodbye then. And Danny gives her a quick peck on the lips and says, you know, I'll see you soon. So we do see her soon. The next time we see her is them together. They're in the flat in Bushwick together. So before I talk about that, we see one more scene in the diner where Rachel's has Broadway news, and she's determined to go on any audition and every audition. You know, if she can't be Fanny Bryce, she will do something else. And so Santana's really proud of her that she's doing that, and then all of a sudden Kurt comes out. So it turns out he also is working at the diner. Of course he's working at the diner. His excuse is that Niata is a free internship, so he needs help pay the bills too. So then, you know, the Gunther, the owner of the diner, tells Rachel, the short one, that table number 14 wants her. So then he takes all of Naya's Yeastastat, which is apparently her payment for the commercial. She didn't get any royalties from the commercial. And she's like, what the hell? Which is funny. So then we see Peter Facinelli, who is, I don't remember his name, but he's the director, producer of this musical. So he asked Rachel for a cake, a whole cake, and he's like, I want some writing on it. and then it's like, congratulations, Rachel, you're Fanny Bryce. So she has this whole adorable, like, freaking out moment. She runs to Kurt and hugs him. She runs to Santana and hugs her, and then the next thing we get is them singing Let It Be in their loft. And who is there in the loft with them but Danny? So Santana already called her girlfriend, so that's pretty fast, if you ask me. We get to meet Danny, so I guess we could assume that she's seen her here and there. Santana gets all nervous, flirty. They have a conversation. This conversation entails Danny coming out to her parents, Santana talking about her grandma, Abuela, Santana talking about Brittany and Quinn as college experimentation. They sing a duet together, they share a kiss together, and now they're girlfriends. Like, that was what we've been asking for Britannia, and that took 4 years to get, and we got all of that in one episode. So if you ask me, that was pretty rushed, but you know what? Demi's only on for 6 episodes, supposedly, unless they extend her contract, so I guess they're just trying to fit everything in. And maybe, you know what, they are older. You know, it is older, things move faster in the real world, supposedly, or now that they're adults, you know, they're not in high school anymore, things move faster, I guess. So, that's all the songs they sang. I thought that these past 2 episodes are really strong, probably because Brad and Ian both wrote them. So next episode is like, oh god, just seeing the promo alone is breaking my heart. So it's the goodbye to Finn, and it's the goodbye to Corey, and just hearing the song, it's like, it's not even them being their characters. You know that you're going to be seeing Leah. Like, when you see Kurt smelling Finn's jacket, you know that it's Chris crying over Corey. So this is going to be a very emotional, tough episode to watch next week. And it's really sad for me to realize that, you know what, we're never going to see Finn on Glee again. We're never going to see Corey again, which is just so heartbreaking. So that's all that's happening right now in the Glee universe. The big news that broke last night was that Naya is engaged. She confirmed that at the Latina Mag event that she attended last night, and she was out and about in LA going to a salon, and she had a pretty big rock on her finger. So I was wondering if she was engaged or not, but she apparently is. So I just am really happy for her. She looks happy. She looks like she's in love. And I hope that everything works out with her and Big Sean. In my opinion, things happened fast. They've been dating for like, what, I think a little over 6 months. But maybe, you know, this is one of those things when you know it's right, you know it's right. So I just am really happy for her. So, that's it, everyone. I am working on my fanfiction actively. I will post a link to that down below. So, until next week, and we watch The Quarterback, I'll see you then. Take care. Peace out, homies. Bye.